Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will you please have the clerk report House Committee Sub 1 to House Bill 315?
Mr. Clerk, please report.
House Committee Substitute 1 to House Bill 315.
Gentleman from LaRue.
Move for adoption.
Question for the body is on adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carries. House Committee Substitute 1 is adopted. Gentleman from LaRue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to start by thanking several individuals who made House Bill 315 possible. First, I'd like to thank the gentleman from Todd, the gentleman from Scott, and the gentleman from Lincoln for all their help on this piece of legislation. Further, thank you to all the electric co-ops, telecommunications, and broadband companies for coming to the table during the interim and session to provide a collaborative solution to provide broadband to the unserved citizens of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Lastly, I would like to thank Director John Hicks and Rocky Atkins for working countless hours to see this bill through to the end. This bill is a true example of bipartisanship, Mr. Speaker. First, this bill makes statutory changes to improve the function and operation of Broadband Deployment Fund to get money to appropriate on the ground and going toward providing access to unserved areas for our citizens of the Commonwealth. Second, reappropriates $300 million for the last year to flow through the Broadband Deployment Fund for grants to incentivize broadband deployment to our unserved areas. The reappropriation is a technical correction from last year's House Bill 320. It establishes an Office of Broadband to help Kentucky gain access to hundreds of millions of dollars in federal funding through the Federal Infrastructure Act. Further, this bill relieves statutory restrictions from Public Service Commission that has prevented our rural electric cooperatives from being able to establish broadband to its members. Finally, this bill establishes a utility pole replacement fund with $20 million of ARPA money to reimburse the cost of pole replacements to unserved areas to provide access to broadband. With that, Mr. Speaker, I move for adoption of House Bill 315 as amended by the committee sub.